Guild Wars 2 doesn't have the best marketing. And if you play another MMO, other than WoW probably, and Final Fantasy, you probably can relate with your MMO not having good marketing, advertisement, stuff like this. But what New World did this week is probably the worst thing I've ever seen in any MMO, any game whatsoever in terms of advertisement. That it not only it made it, not exciting for a new update, it literally kind of killed their game. And I want to, show you what exactly happened. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Go to my coffee if you want to support me, and let's get into it. So, first, I want to say this is a video that you should think about whenever you feel bad about your MMO not doing so well, and having maybe not so much content, or maybe not getting the best advertisement and people not understanding what it is, because this is really the worst that could ever happen to your video game. Now, I was gonna make this video beforehand, but this very good Reddit post actually tells you more or less what happened in this period, but let's go far back into start of the actual game of New World. New World was very exciting for a lot of people. There's a lot of people that played it back in the day. They were very excited for it for a long time. It's supposed to be the new type of MMO. Nothing would compare to it, and that's why a lot of people played it on release. You can see right here, like it was. Well, actually, no. Well, there we go. That's the meme. 913,000 people were playing at launch, right? The problem is that the game was very buggy. It didn't have that much content. The leveling was pretty bad. It had a lot of bugs, and the queue system was completely horrible, right? You would go to servers, and then those servers would get empty, and those servers would become dead, and then you want to go to other servers. It was just a fucking disaster, right? So the game lost a lot of people, right? But it wasn't that bad, 145,000. This is not the most horrible thing ever, right? Then they got the Brimstone Sand update, which essentially was a little bit like an expansion, but it was free. It was actually pretty good, pretty well received, and people were pretty helpful for New World. Now, they didn't really have that much content back then. Not a very big content release. There wasn't that, there was just not really a lot of endgame, and there was still a lot of problems, but there was, you could be hopeful about the game, right? And they didn't really get anything other than, some updates here and there and some quality updates. And then they got the expansion here, the Rise of the Angry Earth. They got mounts. It was actually a pretty okay expansion. I actually didn't. It has some good things about it. It wasn't the best thing ever though. They only got one dungeon and one weapon. It was kind of in terms of the amount of content they had, but they did fix a lot of stuff, and it wasn't the worst thing ever. It did have a lot of bugs as always, but it was looking better for them, of course. But then I think it was season 4 was gonna release, because they have like seasons in the game, right? With new rewards and stuff like this, right? And the subsequent season 2, the expansion, they said they were gonna do a good amount of stuff, a lot of stuff, but they actually kind of went back on the word, and they actually broke down the season 4 roadmap into smaller pieces, and they didn't release all the content that was listed. And well, promised. They not only switched it back, they actually just what's the word? They made it into smaller chunks, but they also made it so, hey, we're not gonna get everything that we actually said that we're gonna get. Instead, they split the season 4 content into 2 seasons, and we are still missing a big part of it. We only received a roadmap until season 5, which covered nothing new, so we didn't know what was gonna be the plan for the rest of the year. This is 2024, right? Season 5 was delayed by another month, so even more problems, right? Amazon Game Studios didn't clarify more about the reasoning why they had to do it, but they mentioned that there was going to be a massive workload to enable controller support for PC. Their first actual clue that we're actually going to get on what's the word? On that console is going to come out. After pressuring more about future plans and a new roadmap of the game, they told us that they were cooking up something massive that will make everyone happy, but they can't talk about it. And they really did. Everyone, because they do just like updates every week almost. Need to find it. Why did I not have this beautiful channel here? They do this like every week, where they just talk to the community and say like, oh, this is what we're doing and blah blah, which is honestly I think a pretty cool thing. But they were like essentially hyping up, hey guys, something is coming, don't worry about it, something big is coming, this is why we're delaying everything here, right? Look at this, like 78, 79, they do this every week, sometimes even more than that. And of course then let me just find here. Yeah. The following videos didn't say anything either, but they were just talking about the past changes and why. The community wanted to know more since AGS, Amazon Game Studios, did build up hype, but we only got small pieces and bits. Most of it was due to data mining back then. Then, they're essentially saying like, guys, you know, there's something coming, but you can't talk about it. We can't talk about it. It's so big, and we can't. Even though you guys are just insanely desperate for knowing what's happening, and the community is insanely disappointed with the game, because they definitely were, because they were getting like no content for like 6 months. We can't talk about it. It's just that big, and it's that important that we announce this in one day and everything's good, right? And it explodes and everyone's playing the game, right? So they had the great idea and decide to release this video where they're talking about everything in the, you know, that they want to announce, but they bleep each other every time they actually say something.
I'm really looking forward to...
Yeah. So this is a 8-minute video of them talking about what they want to announce, but bleeping and putting music over every time they actually talk about it. People did not like that, okay? This is like, you know, look at that, 2.4k dislikes, okay? And you know, they said here that they wanted to do a little joke about us, like, oh, we can't talk about it, haha, so we got to bleep ourselves or whatever. But people do not like it, right? Is this joke? You're really trolling your whole community like this? I normally don't dislike videos, but you're trolling your community of less than 10,000 players as if you had millions. It's tiresome. And what I imagine was supposed to be a fun and quicker video where you bleeped out and obscure new features does nothing but leave a bitter taste in mouth of the few players who are left. You have very little goodwill left, and you're editing your dev videos better than developing your game. Jesus Christ. People were not happy, okay? It was just honestly fuel to the fire, right? But they continued not saying anything about it. They was like, no, okay, we are sorry that we, you know, this didn't come off as we wanted to, but it's important that we don't tell you what it is. It's important for everyone to just, you know, the announcement to be that big, okay? AGS apologized and told us it wasn't their intention to make fun of its player base. They still kept telling us to tune in for the big June announcement that was coming. Everyone was just waiting until the day to get information, since there was nothing to look forward to. Weeks passed and the day came. That was this Friday. Amazon Game Studios built up massive tension, and the community is willing to give them the last chance to turn out the wheel. People were watching hours of events and other games to see what AGS was cooking for New World, as this was the summer festival, summer game festival. So of course, you know, and New World was kind of at the end. So we, you know, I watched the whole thing to see what happened with New World. It was like 2 hours, right? So it was a lot, right? I did have fun though, but regardless, all we got was a console port announcement. There was close to zero info for what was about to come for the new current player base. That was it. You know, they actually showed the video and it was just console, guys, and you have to buy it. To be fair, if you have the earlier expansion, you don't have to buy it, but yeah, that's kind of what they said, right? Now, then after that, they actually released another video in their channel. Let me just go here, a 30-minute video right here. Let me just this 34-minute video where they essentially talk about the game. But the problem is that they don't really talk about what's coming, they just talk about what the game is. And essentially a big advertisement of what the actual game is for the new console players. And there is some information on what's actually coming, like a new raid, 3-boss raid, not that many, but okay. Swimming and a PvP island where you just fight each other with some, and you get some currencies for some rewards that we don't know about and we don't know how it's gonna work. But that's the 3 things that you can actually get from this video, right? Everything else is kind of like, it's just pandering to like the new players, nothing for the actual PC players. So people were very mad, so much that if you go to Steam right now, if you go to Steam on New World, you can see that the ratings are mostly negative. Overwhelmingly negative. And before, they were actually kind of positive. And all reviews, of course, mixed. So it was, yeah, people are not happy. And honestly, who can blame them? It really seems like they hyped up their own event for so long, not saying anything, just to say something that people really don't care about, right? Sure, console is good. Sure, these things are good. But look, the truth is, this doesn't really matter for PC players. So why hype it up for all these months? Okay, why hype it up for all these months for the PC players? Just to give them something they don't really care about anyways. It makes no sense. It completely destroyed the little goodwill that you had on the people that actually play the game, and everyone's gonna quit. Like, already New World is a game that doesn't really get that much content. One, it's very buggy. It looks nice, but it doesn't really have that much content. And then you also have this. Like, these games like this, the only thing they have is the goodwill of the community. If you lose that, it's just completely over. And I'm not gonna start pointing fingers on who this fault it was or whatever. Maybe Amazon literally made them to, like, not say, and maybe they just wanted to be like, oh, guys, it's really not that big thing. Like, who knows, right? I really don't know, and I'm not gonna start pointing fingers. I have no idea. But the truth is, this is the most insane thing that has ever happened. A big announcement that is supposed to be, you know, the revitalization of the game, and just completely killing it from one day to the other. Apparently, social media and Discord weren't on par after this. The New World mod started to ban people who were clearly frustrated. There was no information given. We're still fishing in the dark, and that's actually true. We don't have really know. They did say that they're gonna talk about more stuff coming, but there's really not that much about it. And you know, even I'm not gonna start saying like, oh, those people shouldn't have been banned. Who knows what they were saying? You know, when people are frustrated and angry, they say very questionable stuff. So I don't really know. IGS didn't do any damage prevention or didn't address its concurrent players at all. There was 0 to no info about season 6 and 7, which is less than 3 weeks away from now, which is the most insane part of this. Like, I don't really think the console thing would have been that bad if they actually explained what's coming afterwards. The fact that there wasn't a thing, I think it's yeah, I think that was the biggest problem. If they would have said a console, but hey guys, look, also we're getting this, we're getting a new raid, we're planning to do this next, blah blah blah. I think people would have been more okay with it. Especially if in the exact announcement in the Summer Fest video, Summer Games Fest, after the console announcement, they would have said, guys, so go check out, you know, we're getting New World in console, and we're gonna get way more stuff as well for the next seasons as well. So go check the YouTube right now on New World to see everything that's coming. And they put like a big video where they're talking about, hey, you know, they're getting this and this and this. I think it would have been fine. But they didn't. And honestly, it breaks you out of the illusion that the game can indeed change and be good. I said that in the other video that you can check out in my channel, I guess. But at the end of the day, in the first place, this wasn't gonna be enough to bring the game back and to sustain an MMO. The amount of content the New World gets, it's so little, it's just not sustainable. But this announcement essentially broke everyone out of the illusion that it could. And I think that is the main thing here. That is why the game is probably dead, and there's no way bringing it back, because nobody's gonna consider it like an actual thing that will, you know, it's ever gonna be enough to actually be an actual MMO. And people that did have that hope will no longer have this in the company or in the game. And also hurts a lot in the next MMO that they're gonna do, the Lord of the Rings Online MMO from Amazon, right? And a lot of people are actually saying that this is the way that, you know, this is gonna be the things we're getting out of New World, because they're essentially just updating the engine, updating the performance of the engine, updating the you know, putting it in console and all this other stuff, because this New World is essentially going to be the building blocks from the other game. So by doing this, not only they can get some money, but they can also just continuously, you know, essentially develop the Lord of the Rings MMO in a permanently beta state called New World. And this is why, honestly, I would not play this game. If you really like it, you can do it, but know that it's not gonna last for long, and consider it you know, I just play this for fun, not because it's an actual MMO that has any relevance in the future. That's what I would say. Maybe some people are gonna disagree with me, but that is truly what I think. And everyone that's saying that this is gonna be a, you know, a Realm Reborn moment for New World, I don't think you could be on more copium than that. That being said, that is the video. I just wanted to talk about it so you guys know, and also because, you know, hey, it's good. I mean, it's not good to know. It's actually kind of fucked up to say, but at least, you know, at least we don't have the worst advertisement in Growers 2. There is something worse. Huh. Alright, but there you go. Subscribe to the from content this. Go to my coffee if you want to support me. Go to my Twitch, watch me live. See you guys around. Love you all. Bye. Bye.